Okay, umpisahan natin dito sa isa. Sa mangyayari bukas. Umpisahan natin doon sa mga mangyayari bukas. Ha? Ano ba yung mangyayari bukas? Kung nakakalimutan nyo na, mga kababayan, wag ko natin kakalimutan. Napaka-importante. Napakahalaga po nito, mga kababayan, ng magaganap bukas. Wait lang, ayusin ko lang yun. Share screen. Saan na ba? Ayan. Oo. Napakahalaga ho ng mangyayari bukas. Oo. Alam niyo ba yung mangyayari bukas? Diyan, chat. Alam niyo yung mangyayari bukas? Hindi lang sa ICC, Splash Brothers, meron pang isa, mas mahalaga. As far as I'm concerned, wala na, wag natin pag-usapan si Digong, mamamatay na lang yun dun sa sa dahig. Oo, mamamatay lang sa dahig yun. Pero ayun, buti nasabi ni Eli Robles. Yan, yung impeachment bukas, hearing. Oo, kayo nakakalimutan nyo na. Ayan, sabi ni Ken Reyes, impeachment daw. Oo. Mabibigat ang kwentuhan bukas. Alam ko naman mangyayari din yung kay ICC. Pero mas importante kasi ito eh. Oo, mas importante ito kay yung kay Sara Duterte. Kasi alam nyo, kaya hindi ko masyadong pinapansin na si ICC kasi ando na siya nakakulong na eh. Ang magandang i-monitor doon sa ICC, mga kababayan, yung kapag umabot na sa sa trial phase. Wala pa sa trial phase eh. Nasa pre-trial pa lang eh. So pag nasa trial na, maganda 'yun. Pero bukas etong sa House of Representatives. Ito malapit to sa natin, sa sikmura nating lahat kasi impeachment to eh. Kinabukasan ng Pilipinas ang dito, ang nakataya dito, mga kababayan, kaya dapat bantayan natin to. Oo. At yun na nga mga kababayan ng mangyayari. Bukas magaganap yung mga favorite topic ko, guys. Bukas ng umaga, alas 10, magaganap yung mga favorite topic ko. Oo. Pag-uusapan na natin, finally, ang statement of assets and liabilities and net worth neto ni Sara Duterte bukas. Oo. Not only that, ang AMLAC din ang magkakaroon ng appearance, special appearance. Oo. At syempre, hindi natin makakalimutan ang ating mga special guest. Oo, bukas nandyan si Ombudsman ulit. At saka si Ombudsman Boying Remulla. At saka, of course, si former Senator Trillanes. O Sonny Trillanes. Mabibigat ang guest bukas, guys. Hindi ito katulad nung nakaraan na, well, of course, mabibigat din naman yun. Yung mga revelations ni Madriaga, pasabog. Tapos yung mga revelations ng NBI, pasabog din. Tapos yung revelations ng COA, pasabog din. Oo, ang lala. Ang lala, mga kababayan. Pero this time, ibang mga pasabog naman to. More on documents. Mga dokumento to. At pag-uusapan na nga yan bukas. At merong mga tao na pinipigilan itong pagsumite ng salin. Kaso nga lang, ang problema, nakuha na kanina. Nakuha na kanina ng House of Representatives yung salin. Ito ay para para bukas. Si AMLAC, merong balita dyan. Oo, si AMLAC. Parang parang hindi pa nagsusumite si AMLAC eh. Yan ang sinabi ni Congresswoman Luistro kanina. Pakinggan natin itong interview na to, guys.
Your colleagues have already spoken out saying that there is enough, probable cause has been established to impeach the Vice President. Do you agree?
Well, I do not want to preempt the decision of the justice members, no? Please understand that we are the chairperson, the presiding officer, no? And also, another significant thing is, hindi pa natin nalatag yung evidence with respect to the second and the third offense. Correct. The second will be the unexplained wealth and the non-disclosure in the SALN, and then the third will be the threat. So I think it is important for the justice members to see first whether the evidence, including the allegations in the complaint, are sufficient for them to say that probable cause exists.
Congressman, are you at liberty to tell us sino ba yung mga magiging guest nyo sa Wednesday? Or ano
Yes.
yung magiging agenda sa Wednesday? No? Ano yung program?
Tingin ko naman, sir, we publicized this during the last hearing, no? So,
wait lang. Shoutout lang kay Angelita Almondia. Salamat po sa inyong super chat, ha? God bless po. Ayan, tuloy natin.
to to give you a rundown kung sino yung magiging resource person natin for Wednesday. One is the Ombudsman, and of course,
Yun.
we expect them to present the SALN of the Vice President.
Yun.
Second is the AMLC, the Anti-Money Laundering
AMLAC.
Council. And we mentioned this during the last hearing that we are requiring them to bring the report on covered transactions and suspicious transactions, including the investigations that they conducted regarding the same. No, this is with respect to the Vice President and the husband. Third, we will be having also the BIR, and we anticipate that they will be presenting the income tax return. We'll be having as well the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is for the general information sheets and the audited financial statements
At
of the
BIR din pala,
declared business
nandyan
establishments
bukas.
of the spouses. And the fifth, of course, this is upon the motion of Congresswoman Laila de Lima, is former Senator Sani Trillanes, whom we anticipate will be testifying also on the allegation of unexplained wealth and non-disclosure in the SALN.
Is it safe
Grabe, andun pala yung BIR na bukas, no? Yung mga heavy gut na to, guys. Alam nyo kasi, mga babayan, sa ano kasi, sa ebidensya kasi, mas mataas yung treatment or mas mataas yung pananaw or mas mabigat ang ibinibigay na halaga sa documentary evidence. Yung documents. So bukas, mga babayan, yung documents ang pag-ano ang iisa-isahin. Eh lahat yun eh. Si AMLAC sa mga bank transactions, si Ombudsman sa SALN, si BIR sa mga negosyo ng Duterte, yung mag-asawa. Tapos, sino pa ba? Si SEC ba? Parang si SEC rin yata, parang ano eh, pinasumpi na rin nila eh, si SEC. So, mabibigat tong mga ano guys. Mabibigat tong mga pag-uusapan bukas. Baka mahirapan din tayong intindihin yung mga sinasabi nila. Kasi nga, di ba, bigat eh. Mabibigat eh. But, tignan natin. Di ba? Sabi ni Lonely Islander, Coach, paano pag sinabing walang suspicious transactions na nakita kasi tinatago? I doubt na sasabihin na itatago nila. Okay? Yun ang ano na lang dyan. Hindi ko iisipin na tinatago nila. Kasi maski yung AMLAC nung nakaraan, hindi naman lang nung in-expose ni former Senator Trillanes yung mga bank accounts na yan noong 2015. Hindi rin naman sinabi ng AMLAC na mali yung sinabi ni Sani Trillanes. Ang sinabi lang ng AMLAC ay hindi galing sa amin yan. Kahit sa kanila naman talaga galing kasi yun ang sinabi ng Ombudsman. Itinanggi sila ng nilaglag nila sa ere yung Ombudsman. Oo. So feeling ko bukas lalabas na yung katotohanan doon. Oo. Wala nang dahilan si AMLAC na sabihin na hindi galing sa amin yan. Hindi, sa kanila talaga galing kasi sila yung maglalabas. Oo. So tira natin kung ano yung gagawin ng AMLAC tomorrow. But mabibigat yung mga guests, mga resource persons bukas. The Ombudsman, yung chairman ng AMLAC, si SEC, tsaka si BIR, tsaka si Sani Trillanes, Senator Trillanes, bukas.
safe to say, Congresswoman, na isasabpina nyo na yung kanyang bank accounts based sa sinabi niyong agenda?
Well, at this point, we are being very cautious, no? Kaya instead of issuing subpoena to the bank, we opted to issue subpoena to AMLC, no? Let us remember that what is covered by the Bank Secrecy Law are bank records, and the prohibition applies to bank officials and employees. Let us emphasize that with regards to the upcoming hearing, ang sinapina po natin are not bank officials and employees.
Documents.
Ang sinapina po natin is the AMLC or the Anti-Money Laundering Council. Likewise, we did not subpoena bank records. Instead, what we subpoenaed will be the reports on covered transactions and the suspicious transactions. So we are of the opinion that we are not even close to the alleged violation of the Bank Secrecy Law.
But has AMLAC responded to your invitation for them to bring the report on covered and suspicious transactions? And have they said that they will comply?
Well, we haven't heard from the AMLC, so we will be knowing that on Wednesday, during our hearing on April 22.
I actually,
Congresswoman, hindi nagpa-participate ng the Vice President's camp is not participating, pero they've been giving interviews kasama na dito sa atin sa Storycon. Sabi nila, hindi niya daw trabaho yung kumuha ng ganyang klase mga ebidensya. At ang pwede niya lang daw gawin is to evaluate whatever evidence was submitted by the complainant. At yan daw ginagawa niya is a fishing expedition. Ano po yung masasabi niya doon sa ganon?
Ma'am Abby, this is not a fishing expedition, no? It's very clear in the rules that we are mandated to determine probable cause. And in doing so, kailangan naming mag-conduct ng clarificatory hearing. We are authorized as well na mag-issue ng subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum. Again, all these powers are being exercised to test whether the allegations in the complaint as well as the attached documents are sufficient for us to say na mayroong probable cause, no? So let us remember that the purpose of this clarificatory hearing is not fishing expedition. This is for the purpose of determining probable cause. And I can't imagine the Justice Committee determining probable cause without conducting a clarificatory hearing. Sabi ko nga, kung walang hearing, kung walang compulsory process, if we will not be raising clarificatory questions, paano kaya i-determine ng justice members yung existence ng probable cause? I think it will be very, very difficult to do that.
Correct.
Pero limited daw kayo dun sa evidence na ipipresenta lang ng complainant eh. You are not supposed to get the additional evidence kapareho ng mga bank,
Not necessarily.
yung mga monetary accounts.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Ma'am, if babasahin po natin yung rules, it is very clear. Other related evidence, quote unquote, no? So, for us in the Justice Committee, our stand is, so long as the evidence is relevant to the allegations in the complaint, even if it was not actually mentioned in the complaint, the Justice Committee is allowed to consider the same for the purpose of determining probable cause. Maliwanag po yan sa rules. Other relevant evidence. We may issue subpoena duces tecum with respect to other relevant evidence.
I know Congress.
Oh, mga kababayan, kasi nga 'di ba meron silang subpoena powers. Itong impeachment yung House of Representatives, yung Committee on Justice. Meron kasi silang subpoena powers. At sa kanila pong subpoena powers, bilang parang mga prosecutor ng impeachment complaint, at parang regular prosecutors din, ang mga regular prosecutors, yung mga prosecutors ng DOJ, they can also subpoena documents. They can also subpoena witnesses. Oo. It's not beyond the purview of the role of a prosecutor na humingi ng ebidensya. Kasi nga, it's up to them to determine na alamin kung meron talagang pananagutan o wala. Kung walang pananagutan, o di nga. Kung may pananagutan, o di tuloy. Ano lang kasimple yun. Oo. Sabi ni Yulishu, anong difference between these subpoena? What do you mean? Duces tecum tsaka ad testificandum? Simple lang yan. Ang difference is the medium. So, sa subpoena duces tecum, documents ang hinihingi. Mga dokumento, papeles, yan, duces tecum yan. Subpoena ad testificandum, yung judicial affidavit or yung testimonya ng mga witnesses. So, yun yung pagkakaiba ng dalawang subpoena. So, ayun. Yun lang naman yun. So, kailangan mo rin yun. Hindi, it's not exclusive. It's not exclusive. At nasa rules nga rin yun ng House of Representatives. So, kung may issue dyan ng ang kampo ni Sara Duterte, dali nila ulit sa Korte Suprema, sabihin nila na palpak yung rules na yan ng House of Representatives. Ang problema lang ng partido ni Sara Duterte kung gagawin nila yon is nakasulat po kasi sa Constitution na ang Kamara ay merong exclusive power to write the rules of impeachment. Sa kanilang proseso. So, malas nila. Kasi sa konstitusyon na yun wala sila magagawa doon. Tuloy natin.
Congresswoman, you think it's pretty clear-cut that impeachment is one of the exceptions to the bank secrecy law. But I have it on good authority that there are some members of the banking community who are a bit hesitant about complying because to them, it's not clear what part of the impeachment process they can actually hand over the record. So at this point, you're making it clear that you're not asking for the financial records per se, but just the suspicious and covered transactions report from AMLA. Now, if you don't find anything there, will you then take it to the next step, which is to ask for the bank records?
It will depend, Regina, with the majority of the justice members, no? If after seeing the report of the AMLA, we will still be needing to issue subpoena to the bank establishments, including the subpoena of the bank records, it will be a decision of the majority of the justice members.
And
I think nag-iingat lang talaga si Congresswoman Luistro. Kasi kung tutuusin, exempted ang impeachment sa bank secrecy law. Malino na malino yon sa bank secrecy law. Exempt ang impeachment. Although, ang problema kasi dun sa sa batas na yon, medyo malabo rin siya in a sense kasi hindi nakasulat doon at which stage. So, the initiation of the impeachment ba, pwede nang exempt na ang bank records, exempt na ang impeachment sa bank secrecy law, at the initiation pa lang, which is at the level of the House of Representatives, or kailangan sa impeachment trial, which is at the level of the Senate. Kaya feeling ko sobrang nag-ingat lang si Congresswoman Luistro dito sa pagsubpina ng dokumento ng AMLAC. Kasi nga, 'di ba? Medyo malabo rin kasi yung law. And siguro para malaman natin yung kung anong intensyon talaga doon ng mga sumulat, babalikan natin yung kung bakit siya yung mga hearing, yung deliberation, yung notes ng hearing and deliberation para malaman natin kung bakit, what stage of impeachment is the writers of the law referring to. Sabi ni Fido Dido, hindi naka-specify, hindi, nakasulat lang impeachment. Except impeachment and blah 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 blah. Oo. Bank secrecy law. Oo. Yan din sinabi ni Yusek Claire, exempted sa bank secrecy law ang impeachment. Totoo naman. Tama si Yusek Claire. Oo. Although nga, papakita ko sa inyo kasi hindi kasi malinaw doon sa bank secrecy law at which stage. Okay. Bank secrecy law Philippines. Ito. Pakita ko sa inyo Hindi kasi malinaw kung anong at what point pwede. So, better safe than sorry, di ba? Yan. Uy, namatay ilaw ko. Oh my gosh, it's so dark. Wait lang Bubukas lang ako ilaw, guys. Ba't biglang dumilim? Bubukas ka ilaw ko kapag... Wait lang Wait lang. Wait lang. Okay, I'm back. Impeachment kasi yung topic Okay. Okay, game. Then, nag-low-bat na yung ilaw ko. Okay. Ito yung nakasulat sa, yung sa Section 2. Ayan. Section 2. Ito, Bank Secrecy Law to, ha? Ayan, RA 1405. Bank Secrecy Law. Ayan. Okay. Ano sinabi sa Section 2? All deposits of whatever nature with banks or banking institutions in the Philippines, including investments in bonds issued by the government of the Philippines, its political subdivisions or LGUs, and its instrumentalities are hereby considered absolutely confidential nature and may not be examined, inquired, or looked into by any person, government official, bureau, or office, except may exceptions, upon written permission of the depositor, or in cases of impeachment. Ayan, in cases of impeachment. Pero nga, mga kababayan, ang problema, so exempted ang impeachment process dito sa Bank Secrecy Law. Ang problema, mga kababayan, kung makikita nyo, hindi naka-indicate or hindi naka-specify impeachment trial or upon initiation. Oo. Oo. Kasi does it mean na pag impeachment is from initiation hanggang trial, pwede yung bank exemption sa bank secrecy law? Or kailangan sa trial lang? So, Yun yung ano, yun yung question mark. Oo. Pero kung tatanungin mga kababayan, dapat amyendahan na tong bank secrecy law. Amyendahan na yan. Dapat isama dito mga kababayan na exempted ang public officers sa bank secrecy law. Ibig sabihin, kung ikaw ay elected official or ikaw ay isang government official or government employee, exempt ka sa bank secrecy law. Lalo pag elective official. Exempted ka. Dapat hindi ka kasama dito kasi public office is a public trust. At pinili mo yan maging public officer. Therefore, you should be exempted from the bank secrecy law. You should be transparent. Pero asa tayo na gagawin batas yan. Di ba? Asa? Hindi nila gagawin yun. Hindi nila gagawin yun. Tuloy natin.
What if it comes up to a legal challenge, i.e. the banking sector says this should not be part of it? Because this is a new process, right? The hearing on probable cause, that's a new part of the process. What if they say, okay, that's not covered by the bank secrecy law exemption? Then what?
Let us make it clear first, Regina, no, that for purposes of our hearing on Wednesday, hindi po natin sinampina ang bangko, hindi rin po natin sinampina ang bank records. What we subpoenaed is the Anti-Money Laundering Council and their report on suspicious and covered transactions. No, as to whether or not time will come when the Justice Committee will be issuing subpoena to the bank establishments, including the bank records, that will be a decision of the Justice member. Now, with respect to a possible petition in the Supreme Court, I think we should not preempt that issue until and unless nandiyadyaan na at sinampina na ng Justice Committee itong mga alleged bank records, including the bank establishments.
Congresswoman, wala ba kayo naamoy na another filing sa Supreme Court for a TRO dahil
Filing.
dyan sa usapin ng pagsabpina nyo sa AMLA? No? So wala pa kayo naririnig na
So-
parang isa yan sa mga very sensitive issues sa kampo ni Vice President Sara.
So far, Sir Ronald, wala pa, no? And sana wala na. Kasi we've been very, very cautious in holding the impeachment proceeding before the Justice Committee.
Totoo naman
As a matter
yun.
of fact, instead of issuing the subpoena to the banks, we decided to issue it to the AMLA. No, that is our way also of exercising the necessary caution to make sure that we do not cross the line because we do not want another petition. No, nevertheless, kung mayroon mang pang-apat or pang-lima to be filed with the Supreme Court, the Justice Committee will simply proceed so long as there is no temporary restraining order.
Usually naman kasi walang TRO pag may jurisdiction eh. Pag nagsimula na yung process, pag TRO, medyo malabo.
But of course, the jurisdiction question for them is still unresolved at this point.
I mean, what I mean by jurisdiction, pag nasimulan na yung process, katulad ngayon sa Justice Committee, hindi na masyado wala akong alam na nakialam yung
Yeah.
Supreme Court pag yung process ay
Gumagalaw na.
Ma'am, yung
Congresswoman.
yung covered and suspicious transactions, tanong ko lang, I'm not really that familiar with it. Have we, has AMLAC said that it has found suspicious transactions of the VP?
We
or
actually,
only
Sir Ed, we actually haven't heard from AMLAC, no, from AMLC.
Uy,
no?
di ba
Ngayong
sumasagot si
darating na
AMLAC?
Wednesday pa lang natin makakausap ang taga-AMLC as to whether there are covered transactions
Okay.
and suspicious transactions of the Vice President and the husband.
Mhm, okay. Okay.
Oy,
there was,
wait lang,
a
wait lang, wait
ombudsman
lang,
from
wait lang,
before,
wait lang, wait. Anong tinatago ng AMLAC? Bakit hindi kayo sumasagot? Last week pa yung subpoena na yan. Last week pa yung subpoena na yan, ha? Ba't di kayo nasagot? Loko itong AMLAC, ha? Ha? Anong tinatago nyo? Grabe si AMLAC, hanggang ngayon, di pa nagsasubmit ng papeles. Oo. Nagmamataas ang AMLAC. Sabi ni Jano Roy Rosso. Oo. Bakit hindi sumasagot ang AMLAC? Ha? Kaya kayo nasasabon ni Boying Remulla. Si Boying Remulla na bahala dyan. Oo, tingnan natin. Oo. Loko tong AMLAC na to, ha. Di sumagot, ah. Anyway, tuloy natin. Tuloy.
ni President Duterte, who spoke about some of the transactions and quoted an AMLAC report. What's his name again, Bok? Deputy Ombudsman, former Deputy Ombudsman.
Karandang.
Arthur Karandang. Is he going to also be appearing before the committee?
No, as of the moment, hindi namin napapag-usapan si Deputy Ombudsman Karandang. We are likewise not privy to whatever document he has during the time or even to this time. No? So unless siguro i-move to ng mga justice members. But I think right now, walang action towards that end.
Okay.
Comment ko lang, Congresswoman, sabi ni Sal Panelo, maswerte na daw maka-4 o 6 na senador na boboto.
But actually,
Ma'am Ami,
Yeah, would
our
you care to comment?
no, but
Would you care to comment on that?
before that, Congresswoman, actually, his whole statement said, sigurado conviction yun sa House, sigurado they will transmit it to the Senate, and sa Senate,
Yeah.
4 lang maximum ang magko-convict. So,
Or
the
up to
implication,
6 naman daw.
the implication for the House there is obviously negative.
Well, ako nga, from my end, I do not want to preempt the decision of the committee, much less the decision of the plenary. No, our focus, Ma'am Ami, is in our current proceeding to make sure that we will be able to fulfill our duty as members of the Justice Committee. Siguro saka na namin isipin yung sa Senate, no, after we have successfully transmitted this to the Senate.
If you are transmitting it to the Senate.
Yes, it will be dependent on the decision of the justice members and the members of the plenary.
One other thing that we hope you could settle for us, Congresswoman, is Attorney Sal also said that yung notice of disallowance in COA is not final yet. Remember, there are 2 notices of disallowance. The first one for the 73 million has already been appealed and denied, and then this next one, the 375 million pesos, hindi pa yata na-appeal. But for the first one, he says, pwede pa yung i-appeal sa Supreme Court. Is that correct? Or pa-review, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
he is correct with regards to his statement that the decision is still appealable to the Supreme Court. But let us be reminded, our threshold before the Justice Committee is just probable cause. And the description of probable cause in the past impeachment cases is a justification, merely justification for us to be able to proceed to trial. No? So notwithstanding the fact na meron pang remedy before the Supreme Court, I think we have to consider also na maliit lang yung threshold na nire-require sa atin. Secondly, we must understand that the proceeding before COA, the intention of the same is restitution of public funds. The impeachment proceedings objective, if ever there is basis, is the removal plus the disqualification to hold any public office. So much so that the proceeding in impeachment is entirely different from the proceeding before the COA. No? So magkaibang proceeding ito. And I don't think that the appeal before the Supreme Court or the petition for review before the Supreme Court will be a matter to be considered first before pushing through with these impeachment proceedings.
Okay. Medyo ano lang dadaanan lang natin yung sa COA na yan. Kasi sinasabi daw ni Sal Panelo, hindi pa raw final and executory. Okay. Kasi pwede pa raw maiapela sa Supreme Court. Totoo naman yun. Pwede pa naman talaga yung maiapela sa Korte Suprema. Ang tanong lang kasi dito, mga kababayan, the decision of tribunal or a quasi-judicial body tulad ng COA at ang kanilang sinabi na desisyon tungkol doon sa kanilang sa COA report as a notice of disallowance ni Sara Duterte. It will stand until it is reversed. Oo. Yun pa rin ang desisyon hanggat hindi binabaliktad. So hindi yung ibig sabihin na porke inapela sa Korte Suprema, ibig sabihin hindi mo siya na invalid na or void na yung desisyon. No. That is the wrong, well, alam ko naman na mali yung sinasabi na yun ni Sal Panelo kasi pilit niyang binobola ang sambayan ng Pilipino. That is the wrong understanding ng appeals. Kaya ka umaapela kasi hindi mo nagustuhan yung desisyon at hindi pabor sa iyo yung desisyon. So pupunta ka sa appellate court para i-apela yung desisyon. Does that mean na voided yung decision? No. It still stands. Yun pa rin ang desisyon. Pero iintayin mo, kukumbinsihin mo ngayon yung appellate court, ikukumbinsihin mo ngayon, in this case, the appellate court is the Supreme Court, ikukumbinsihin nyo siya ngayon na baliktarin yung desisyon. At sabihin na, ay hindi, mali si COA. Oo. Pag ganun nangyari, di swerte ni Sara Duterte. Swerte. Pero, paano pag sinabi ng Supreme Court? Tama si COA. Magbayad kayo ng 478 million. Does that mean na hindi mo na pwedeng i-implement? Kasi voided na yung nakaraan eh. Di ba? Hindi. I-implement mo pa rin yung decision. Wag ko tayong papabudol sa mga sa mga Rango. Kilala si Rango? Panoorin nyo, Google nyo, Rango cartoon. Wag ko tayong papabola kay Rango. Oo, yung Rango cartoons. Hindi yung Rango na rank ha. Hindi. Rango na cartoons. Oh, yun. Hanapin, Google nyo. Rango cartoon. Oh, yun. Makikita nyo kung sino si Rango. Okay, tuloy natin to.
So they can run to the Supreme Court to appeal it, but this doesn't stop your process.
Yes.
Definitely, definitely.
Okay. Ma'am, can I just ask, you talked about summoning former Senator Trillanes as well to the hearings on Wednesday. What is his role there? Because there are some people also saying na parang wala naman siya official role dito. So medyo politically motivated yung pag-invite sa kanya.
Well, let us remember, merong endorser yung impeachment complaint, no?
Mm.
That is in the person of Congresswoman Laila De Lima, and it was her who actually moved
Yeah,
for the
correct.
issuance of subpoena of former Senator Sani Trillanes. And hearing from her motion, Senator Trillanes will be testifying on the allegations of unexplained wealth and non-disclosure in the SALN, no? And of course, we want to give opportunity to all the justice members to listen to the would-be testimony of Senator Trillanes, whether the same may be considered for the purpose of determining probable cause. Hindi naman porket nag-testify, no? We are receiving it as gospel truth, no?
Mm.
It will be the exclusive judgment, prerogative of the justice members, whether or not i-consider nila yung testimony as part of their consideration in the determination of probable cause, no? Pero I want to state that for the record, hindi porket nag-testify ay tinanggap na as gospel truth yung testimony ng witness, no? It is still subject to the judgment of the individual members of the Justice Committee.
Yeah, fair point. Lastly, Congresswoman, how many more hearings do you anticipate for this case?
Well, our initial hearing schedules are the one which we had already, 14, 22, and 29, no?
Mm.
Which are supposed to cover the allegations on confidential fund. We are done with that already last April 14th. And then for Wednesday, this will be focused on unexplained wealth and non-disclosure in the SALN. The 29th hearing is intended to discuss the allegations of threat, no? So if there will be no move from the part of the majority members to fix additional hearing dates, then by 29, we should be ready to vote in the committee.
Yun, no? Excited na ako dun.
Congresswoman, is the impeachment process taking its toll on you? Dahil parang pumapayat kayo ngayon eh.
Hindi naman. Hindi naman. Actually, it is more of an honor that we are part of the Philippine history. You know, this is innate in a democratic country that we have a reliable accountability mechanism. If ever there is one lesson that I learned from this experience, I feel the honor of preserving and protecting this accountability mechanism.
Okay, good.
Makikita tayo ng Llamas.
Kinunag po yan.
Okay, but that was a very strong answer. So we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for talking to us again.
Ayun. So, pero si Amlak talaga no? Pasaway ka talaga Amlak, no? Kahit kailan. Kasi nung naalala ko, nung panahon ni Digong, si Amlak din ang tanggol kay Digong eh. Di ba? Si Amlak din ang tanggol kay Digong. So, ewan ko lang ha. Kung magtatanggol niya si Sara this time. Pagtatanggol kaya niya si Sara this time, hindi natin alam. Pero tingnan natin. Paano kung hindi sumunod si Amlak? O di, isusumpi na sila ulit. Baka makontempt sila. Pero again, mga kababayan, it is what it is eh. Masyadong pasaway eh. Masyadong pasaway si Amlak. Oo, pangalawang beses na to if ever. Kung sakaling hindi matutuloy yung impeachment, ay yung kanilang pagharap sa impeachment. Pangalawa na to if ever. Kaya hindi nagre-reply eh. Ba't kasi ay mag-reply ni Amlak? Ano bang kinakatakot ni Amlak? Baka madamay siya, ganun. Ewan ko. I don't understand. What's stopping Amlak from doing its job? Baka may maleta rin, paayuda. Oo. Sa bagay, nung panahon kung totoo yung kwento ng maleta, may direktang contact sa AMLAC is the Office of the Ombudsman. So kung si Martires before was in the payroll of Rodrigo Duterte and Sara Duterte, alam na natin mga kababayan kung anong tunay na kwento. Alam na natin yun kung gano'n. Wala nang question mark doon guys. O pag gano'n. Ay, kita tayo. 5 minutes, guys, ha? Bye! As senator judges, it is your obligation na dapat present ka sa mga proceedings. Hindi naman sakop ng trabaho ng Office of the Ombudsman na magpa-disqualify sa 2028. I-identify na natin lahat ng Manchurian candidates. Tigil-tigilan na natin yung kalokohan natin.